I hope you're doing well. If you're building software in 2024, it better be different. I use the word better. Just it's a strong word. I'm just saying it for what it's worth. From how you did it in 2023, or even a few months ago, because we as a software company, we all adapt to changes, and some of us adapt to it a little bit quicker than others. Depending on the size of the team, the company, and how passionate your overall the paradigms of the organization are, you adapt to things a little bit more quicker than some other places. But adapt, we all have to do, and we've learned to do it over the years. But this time, this phase of life, sort of, if I have to quote my favorite poet, Robert Frost, the poem "Road Not Taken," we're kind of at the crossroads as a community, as a software community. There's going to be two ways to doing things going forward, at least two ways at the highest level. One is the way you did it in the past, the way that it probably even worked for you and you've been successful, and the way you actually have to do it in future. I think it becomes less of a choice as time progresses. And if you think I'm stating the obvious, maybe some of it is, but please bear with me, and hopefully there's some learning that comes out of this video. What I'm trying to get to here is, if you're building a web app or a mobile app or a microservice or whatever it is that you're building right now, say you're starting from scratch, you're building something new, or you're adding to an existing ecosystem to just enhance and improve your services, you definitely want to ask yourself if you're doing it the way you want to be doing it in this day and age. And but when I say that, I don't mean, writing code, say you're using VS Code or Ruby Miner, doesn't matter what editor, and you have the AI or the the Copilot plugins and extensions or something along those lines, depending on, there's plenty of other options out there, but Copilot is awesome, as we know. The GitHub Copilot. It doesn't start there. You write code. I've shared a couple of videos there where we actually have started benefiting from Copilot quite a bit. It has increased the pace at which we deliver solutions to ourselves and to our clients. We are a product company. We have a lot of products, so we do a lot of stuff on a daily basis. So the more assistance we get from these bots and AI, the better off we are going to be. That's true for everybody, right? But it doesn't start there. If you're thinking, hey, you know what, I'll do everything just the way I did in the past, but when I actually hit the ground running when it comes to coding, I'm going to benefit from a lot of this, like Copilot, then it's all right. But I don't think that's the right approach, at least in our opinion. At Snowpile, this is the year. We want to actually get started with some of the AI stuff last year. But again, we had other things in our roadmap. We completed them. We pushed them to production. So this is the year where we are actually, in all honesty, entering the world of AI. And by the end of the year, we hope to have something that we are proud of and something that benefits you and our clients that leverages AI. And it's not just for the sake of, there are a lot of places I see here where, you are sort of force-fitting AI into the equation in the realm of things, which is all right, because maybe you want to get funding, maybe you want to say this, you want to, everyone's talking about it. Maybe it's going to help you by just changing the domain. There are places, I think, sites I've seen that have changed to like .ai, which I don't know if they've done anything differently, to be honest. We are different. We want to actually leverage it truthfully, where it actually adds benefit and value to us and our consumers. So back to what I was trying to say. So it cannot start with where you're hitting the ground running with coding. It has to be fundamentally, let's say you built a web application, I don't know, whatever the example you want to take is, for a food industry last year, you took a certain approach. It was current at that point of time. And it worked. You went to production. It's good. It scales. It performs all right. Everyone's happy. Congratulations. If someone asked you to do the exact same thing today, and if you see a lot of commonality between how you approach the problem from the get-go, right? From talking to your customer or to your team, product team about requirements, or business team about requirements, a product team, and then to a UI UX team that has a user interface, all stakeholders in the company. That's what I'm talking about, right? If whatever you're doing, how are you approaching the problem today, if you drew a Venn diagram and there's a lot of overlap, then I think that's it's time to pause. Maybe it's a red flag, cause for concern, and see why is it so similar to how you did last year? Because it shouldn't be. Because right from how you starting with what problem it is that you're solving. Maybe the problem itself is it worth solving today? Maybe it was worth solving last year. Maybe it is, maybe it is not today, right? That's one thing. But that's AI agnostic. But again, when you bring AI into the mix, maybe there's other solutions out there that do things better, differently using AI. So your problem that you had in mind probably is not as much of a problem, or it shouldn't be solved the way you were expecting to solve it last year. Let's keep going. And let's say you have a decent problem that you want to solve now. It acts actually true business value to end users or consumers out there. The next thing you want to see is how do I, get started with that. Simple steps. You document your problem to the extent whatever documentation means in your team. I'm not saying hundreds of pages of Word documents with subsections, but whatever documentation means in the context of your organization. You're going to document it, but how you approach the documentation has to be different. It cannot be the way you did it last year because it's just going to be inefficient. Every single thing that we do today, every little thing I should say, not just single, every little thing we do, we ask ourselves, hey, could we do this a little bit differently? Are there, it's not just a question of using ChatGPT, it's using everything in that realm, in that space to see how we can benefit, move faster and chug along because of everything that's available and available to all of us out there to make us more efficient. So how you take the document, how you take the requirements, convert that into documentations meaningful enough to socialize with the rest of your team. That approach should be seismically different as well. Now you've documented it, right? You want to create some tickets, on GitHub or you could, ours is a project. We have a project management app as well, as whatever it is that you're using, right? It's your choice. So let's say you want to create these tickets. How do you want to create these tickets? Do you want to do it the way you did it some time ago, where you actually manually go hand create each of these tickets? Not really, right? But probably not the best way to do it. So how do you take your requirements and convert them into tickets in a matter of minutes, not matter of hours or days, with the least amount of human involvement in there? So I think you get the drift. I want to actually continue this. The weather is extraordinarily brilliant today. It's spring, and Northern Virginia is just fantastic during this time of the year as well. So I'm just going to catch a walk, but I want to kick this off. Maybe it's video number 1 in the series. Let's call it 1 of N, as we almost always do, as it becomes a podcast. We'll figure out how best to title this. But the idea here is it's almost you woke up and you're like, you know what, things have to be quite different than they were last night. That's the point we are at. And I think it cannot be overstated because it's still the infancy, as we know, even despite all the talk and the chatter and everything that's happening. You look back 5 years later, we'll be like, wow, could I have done this very differently? Did I miss something? Did I miss the boat? So these are very early stages. As much as some companies have progressed, a lot of others are getting started. Like I mentioned to you, have a lot of products in production, but from an AI standpoint, this is going to be our first year. So, and if you know us, you know how quickly we move things and how passionate we are about what we do. So let's talk more about this. And if you find an interest in having such conversations, we do collaborative podcasts as well. So we are happy to host you as a guest. Just hit us up and we'll make that happen. Talk to you soon. Happy Sunday.